She's only 15 years old and is the toast of the international high fashion world. And this gorgeous 6-foot-tall model leads a double life. Part of the time, she's that real-life Cinderella who dresses up for the ball. But back home in St. Louis, Missouri, she's 10th grade student Kimora Perkins.
Baby fat, young, fly, stylish to shit.
I need some baby fat, Kimora.
Hello, babes. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the ever so glamorous, fabulous Miss Kimora Lee and her impact on the 2000s fashion and how she was a trailblazer for the 2000s fashion, how she changed the fashion industry and her impact. So let's get into it. Now, if you're anything like me, you were obsessed with anything baby fat and Kimora Lee Simmons in the early 2000s. Lip gloss, perfume, baby fat cell phones, you name it and our girl did it. She was a hyper feminine, glamorous, fabulous dream that everyone just fell in love with, especially if you were a young girl and you loved all things pink, glittery, sparkly, bedazzled, embellished, whatever it was. Kimora did it and you were obsessed with it because she was so unapologetically girly. In the late 90s, Kimora Lee would begin working on her highly successful clothing brand, Baby Phat. She had a strong love for fashion, glamour, and hip-hop culture, and as a former model, she wanted to merge that into a brand for women who have that same love. She wanted to stand apart from the brands we had and take risks when it came to clothing, giving us good quality while also remaining affordable.
The Baby Phat aesthetic is young and fun. We started off as a jean company, but we have fashion, main apparel, outerwear. We're a lifestyle brand, so it's everything that embodies that lifestyle of a fashionable, fearless woman.
At the age of 13, a young Kimora would snag an exclusive major contract modeling deal with Chanel and was taken under the wing by none other than Karl Lagerfeld, where they would begin a mentor-muse relationship. In the 80s, multi-ethnic models were uncommon, but Lagerfeld chose to put Kimora on the runways, which would help to build up her confidence. In a 2019 Teen Vogue issue that celebrated the life of Karl Lagerfeld, Kimora stated, "Karl chose to put a mixed-race model on a Parisian runway before anyone else. By his example, I learned how to stand tall and claim my destiny, to dream bigger than I ever thought possible and command my dreams into reality." After making her debut on the runway for the 1989 Chanel show as one of the youngest Chanel brides, she would work for Fendi, Yves Saint Laurent, Valentino, and more. Taking inspiration from her time on the runway and working with the biggest designers, she would begin working on her clothing line, Baby Phat. Kimora loved cropped baby tees and stated that her and her friends would buy shirts from the kids department. So when she first began her line, the first thing she began working on were, of course, you guessed it, Baby Phat t-shirts with the embellished words Baby Phat printed across the shirt. When Kimora was first presented a prototype shirt to begin creating her line, she was disappointed with the basic style of the shirt and stated that it was an athletic, basic, scaled down version of what a guy would wear. So she decided to take on the role of the designer and creative director to create a collection that women would actually be interested in wearing.
His wife, Kimora Lee, inspired him to up the style quotient by introducing Baby Phat for women. And this season, Kimora has expanded on their success by premiering a sexy line of lingerie at a star-studded showing.
It's stylish, it's different, it's sexy.
Baby Phat would begin with the low-rise jeans and tops adorned with a rhinestone curved cat logo inspired by her pet Siamese cat, Max. Kimora would go on to say she created the collection because women, especially women of color, had no voice in the streetwear industry. It's in our DNA. This brand is created for women, by women.
I look at Little Kim and Mary J. Blige, I look at people in the street, I look at my girlfriends, I look at you, I see, what do we want to wear, what are we missing, what do we need, what do we love, and I tried to bring all of that together in a collection that people could wear to work, to play, to bed, in the country, in the city, a little bit of everything.
I think her work is excellent. I'm wearing Baby Phat. I think it's comfortable, it's sexy. You can get every look that you want, and You know, the working woman can go get it and look nice in it. It's affordable.
And after creating a few pieces, Baby Phat would launch in 1999, with the first runway show taking place in 2000 for New York Fashion Week, becoming an instant hit with consumers. It was fierce, fresh, and made women feel good. The combination of urban and glamour set Baby Phat apart from all of the other brands on the market. Kimora was able to push her line by wearing her pieces as well as being looked at for what she was wearing next. She hung out with the it girls of fashion like Little Kim, Misa, Naomi Campbell, and Tyra Banks, and she also got some of her friends to wear these brands, and her peers in the industry. These were women who were iconic in the fashion world and whom everyone fell in love with through their fashion. Misa being a designer and a part of the trends we saw in the 2000s, and being Little Kim's stylist. Little Kim and her daring approach to fashion and always willing to take risks while still being hyper feminine. And Naomi and Tyra, who lived and breathed the fashion world as the supermodels of the 90s. Kimora was consistently in magazines for her fashion. She had charm, elegance, and many couldn't keep their eyes off of the beauty. When launching her Baby Phat line, Kimora pulled out all of the stops. Big name supermodels, celebrities, and promotions on multiple platforms. She was a force to be reckoned with and was giving the high-end labels a run for their money, as Baby Phat was the new, cool, glamorous, trendy brand that everyone wanted a piece of. She was a marketing genius. Of course, she had help from her team, but Kimora had a heavy hand in almost everything Baby Phat.
Whatever it is that you're offering that's genuine, and this is really me. I get into this. I get into the great music, the jewelry, the great clothes. I get into it and I don't give a damn. And I think people are happy to see that, and they're happy to feel the same way too.
From campaigns, photo shoots, runway shows, and more, she immersed hip-hop and fashion together in a way that hadn't been done before for women. We had always seen them sporting designer labels and, of course, other brands that weren't really affordable to the everyday woman, as well as other brands like Fila, Reeboks, and things like that. But when Kimora launched Baby Phat, women who loved hip-hop and fashion and all things girly felt seen. She had clothing for women of different sizes and shapes, models of different racial backgrounds and nationalities walking the runway. Kimora wanted women everywhere to be celebrated and accepted into the fashion world, and also let it be known that you can mix both luxury and affordable together, but it was all about style. In 2001, 2 years after Baby Phat was launched, the brand grossed $30 million in revenue, an accomplishment that took Phat Farm 6 years to achieve. In 2002, the brand would increase massively to make $265 million, which would result in the company being valued at $1 billion. The brand consisted of denim, accessories, jewelry, footwear, swimwear, and lingerie, and would later go on, of course, to launch their kids' wear. Now, if you're like me, then in the 2000s, you were obsessed with everything Baby Phat, down to the lip gloss. Baby Phat was the it girl brand, and if you had it on, you were that girl in school. And while it was affordable, some things were on the higher end price. You'd shop at stores like Jimmy Jazz, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, and other major warehouse stores, or your mother would pick up your outfits from a cookies department store, something we have here in New York City, where the stores would sell popular brands, but the prices weren't as high. It was like the Century 21 for just kid clothing. When Christmas time rolled around, you would be ecstatic because you were waiting for your velour Baby Phat suit, some Baby Phat hoops, a short puffer jacket, or some Baby Phat jeans. You just knew that something Baby Phat was waiting for you underneath all of that gift wrapping. The brand would go on to expand in 2004 and would be acquired by American apparel manufacturer Kellwood, along with the parent company Phat Farm, which would help the brand to expand even further with a larger financial backing, although the brand was doing exceptionally well. During the partnership, the brand would go on to give us the iconic Baby Phat rush card and the highly coveted iconic pink cell phone that was blinked out with the Baby Phat logo. Kimora opened the doors for women like Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, J-Lo, and others to create their own fashion lines and beauty lines and expand into different avenues. She is pop culture in every way. When we speak about iconic moments in fashion and pop and bringing the hip-hop and pop world together, Kimora did that when creating her brand and stepping outside of the box.
I am a fashion girl in my heart and from 12 years old, so that's what I do. Like I was telling people, I don't sing or dance or do all those other things. I may one day, but any other notoriety that I could accomplish in life comes from my passion for fashion and what I do in design. That's first and foremost in my life, and I think that's important to say.
Turning a notorious moment into a fashion must-have, Kimora scoffed at her arrest for alleged contraband by producing sexy mugshot t-shirts.
I'm a wanted girl, and everybody who puts this on is a wanted girl.
When a woman wears Baby Phat, she feels fashion forward. I almost think it transforms you. So whatever you were before, forget it. Now that you're dressed, you're ready for the world. I also wrote a book called Fabulosity, and in that book I address the challenges that women face today, trying to juggle a career and a family and a relationship. For me, it's my family comes first and then my job, but I believe you can have it all. I'm fortunate to have a lot of support from celebrities that I love. It's very flattering and it's very exciting, and it's equally as exciting for me to be driving down the street and I see some girl with a cat on the back of her jacket. It starts to go beyond being a clothing line, and it becomes something that resonates and embodies these different wonderful women. It takes a lot, I think, to build and grow a brand and sort of create that trust.
There weren't many brands doing what Kimora did. She was the blueprint for the 2000s fashion, the bling, the baby tees, the mini skirts and stilettos, bubblegum pink, and overall unapologetic girly girl feminine aesthetic was something that Kimora created for the women and girls who loved all things girly and expressive.
I'm very outspoken, vibrant, animated, over the top. Baby Phat, as well as all of my lines, definitely lend themselves to that.
Well, this actually is called the Pink Collection, and pink is our favorite color, and I was sort of trying to step it up a notch in terms of just fabrication and design. We also launched Simmons Jewelry Company, and this is our first piece, which is a 15-karat pink diamond. So I think we're feeling very pink these days. The collection is based on the exotic world traveler. It's Asia, it's Africa, it's America, it's Hamptons, it's St. Bart's. It's exotic, it's sexy, it's wonderful silks, raw silks, it's woven leathers, it's wonderful.
Baby Phat was a cultural phenomenon and represented who Kimora was to her core. Fabulous, fun, sexy, glamorous, and hyper feminine. You would never catch Kimora without looking dolled up in a pair of heels. She became a mogul and household name, from having her own reality TV show, her own fashion brand, books, and becoming a part of fashion history. A-list celebrities like Beyonce, Janet Jackson, Naomi Campbell, Jay-Z, Little Kim, and many others would attend runway shows in support of Kimora, and getting a front row seat at the show was just like sitting in the front row for any luxury designer, but for the people.
I think I probably knew I was going to get here one day.
Looking to put last season's disaster behind them when top editors and friends were shut out of the show due to overcrowding, the 4,000-seat Radio City Music Hall was chosen for Baby Phat's summer presentation, the first fashion show ever held at the landmark venue.
I thought Baby Phat was marvelous, and I thought that Kimora should have been in Radio City Music Hall, and she went there. The clothes were absolutely wonderful. I mean, she had clothes to go to work in. She had clothes that were very serious and grown up, very sophisticated. It was all good.
When the Baby Phat Motorola phone was released, it became one of the most sought-after cell phones, being sold exclusively at Bloomingdale's, becoming one of the most iconic pieces of technology. Once again, much like the Juicy Couture Sidekick that would be released a few years later, taking inspiration from Kimora Lee, much like they did with their Juicy Couture suits. The phone had real diamonds encrusted around the caller ID, a vibrant bubblegum pink quilted look, and stood out from its competitors. Celebrities like Raven, Cameron, and Kim Kardashian would be seen sporting the phone, costing a whopping $700. The phone was featured on TV shows like Gilmore Girls, The Hills, Charmed, and the talk of girls everywhere who wanted to get their hands on one. And when I tell y'all I wanted this phone so bad, but unlike today where preteens have these expensive cell phones, my parents refused to buy me a $700 cell phone, especially since you had to pay for minutes, and preteens and teens would run their mouths on the phone for hours. and how teens and kids lose things, it was just a no for them. And listen, I still want a Baby Phat phone, okay? I would not be mad at a Baby Phat cell phone relaunch for nostalgic purposes. The phone was for people who wanted to make a fashion statement and loved fashion. Much like Kimora, she put streetwear in the forefront of women who weren't normally seen. At every single one of her fashion shows, she closed out with some of the most fabulous looks, being the epitome of what Kimora was and still is. A fabulous beauty who loved all things glitz and glam. Baby Phat was a brand that took over in the 2000s and made a major impact. It is the reason why most of the brands we have exist now, and why a lot of people decided to step outside of the box and try new things, like their own fashion brands, makeup, and fragrance line. Kimora was way ahead of the game. She tried new things, she liked trying new things, and she loved being fabulous and giving women things that we didn't even know that we needed. Kimora set the tone for how to be a businesswoman in the industry, never letting people dictate what she should or shouldn't do, going into spaces that were predominantly white and kicking down the doors for people who looked like her and others who weren't always welcome into the fashion world because they didn't have the skin color, look, or size, and were often left out of most creative spaces like jewelry, accessories.
Comes right. I just like slowly climb my way to the top. There's no rush, so that you can't get like kicked down and tumble down. Just I like to be slow and steady.
Baby Phat is a brand that still resonates with women today, and the fact that she was able to revive a brand from 20 plus years ago and it still have the hype around it says so much. And in 2019, Rihanna purchased an entire archive of Baby Phat, a fashion icon who has impeccable taste. Kimora has had her own exclusive jewelry lines with Hello Kitty, a cosmetics line. Kimora also had her own Barbie doll in 2008 that she had a hand in creating in every step of the way.
The Kimora Barbie was Mattel's idea. And I thought, to what Barbie already stands for, I could add a little bit of Fabulosity. You know, the world is talking to me about my Barbie. I really hope she represents a proper ethnic blend. Do you feel like she does? I like it. I'm a fashion girl. If you're like a living, doll, sometimes I kind of feel like I'm a living Barbie, which is so great for me to be making a Barbie doll. Does this look like Zoe? No. We need to fix that. And what about the quality of this coat? Because I know it's faux chinchilla, but it looks like rat.
I'll provide them with a swatch.
I think she looks good.
So I'm gonna call Mattel and I'll set up a meeting for LA.
And with that being said, this video has come to an end. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know who you would like to see a video on next. Don't forget to turn your notification bells on so that you are always notified when I upload. And I will catch you guys in the next one.